They didn't look too happy. You definitely saw a bit more smiles on Liquid's face, which is, I suppose, to be accepted when they've managed to take the lead here. And that's what Empire need, is to get a significant early lead, and hopefully these operator bans work out for them. Well, there's the IQ ban from Liquid. So they're going to make sure that if they are going to have the Echo unbanned, they'll get to play it as much as possible. Or if it's Valkyrie to be played as well, that they can use those outside cams. So the Defender ban is definitely going to matter in terms of that operator being banned now. Ying being banned again as well, this time from Empire, just like last time. So will they go with the same Defender ban of Mira? Hard to say.
Well, with the amount of aggressive and honestly successful Ying play we've seen through the group stages, I'm not really surprised that Empire do not want to deal with that by any stretch of the imagination. They'll also take out the Miro, same as Coastline, so it's really Liquid right now, swapping.
Oh boy.
It's kind of.
Well, this certainly looks about as familiar as you can get, with the exact same bans outside of the Zofia swapped out for the IQ. But now the Echo play going to be that much more effective. That is going to stunt Empire's attacks even more, as well as their defenses now. So Liquid continuing with the counterplay to Empire. Empire's just going to have to bring it on the frag game at this point.
Well, it's Empire starting on the attack compared to Coastline, where they started out in the defense. So Liquid playing for the late game here.
Well, I got to say, though, their ability to be able to play those cams outside potentially with Nest Clay on that Valkyrie, if that leads to a lot of runouts here, they could really punish any chance at momentum here from Empire.
Interesting that Gohan will swap off the Pulse and onto a Rook, picking up a second ACOG, and it's not the dock, so you don't take the bulletproof camera. Also, stark contrast to what we were seeing on Coastline. No smoke grenades elected to be taken by anyone on Team Empire. It was the smoke plant fest on Coastline, and it seems we're getting away with that, even with the Jaeger being banned out. We still have 2 frag grenades with Shockwave Sledge. And this composition right here for Empire is their most popular and most commonly run composition on basically every map.
Yeah, it's definitely something they are very comfortable using. So at least they've mostly got what they want on attack. But again, it's their defenses that are most concerning in this case. But they just need to find those yokai drones the best way they can. Stop Zig from being able to use them, or at least identify where Zig's at, put pressure on him personally, maybe even kill him so that it's not as much of a concern. But even with him dead, people can still use those teammates rather for intel. So it is something to be concerned about. See though, if they could manage to better utilize Joystick this time, as he just wasn't very effective outside of his glass play, and even then it was still a bit 50-50.
Yeah, Joystick and Karzek, honestly, both being non-factors on Coastline, definitely contributed to the loss for Empire on Coast. Just a situation where Joystick couldn't get any traction. He's not on his favorite operator, and that clearly has been an issue for him, especially at lands. G2 target banned the Ashe on in back-to-back games at that DreamHack winner game that I referenced, and he did not do all that hot in that game.
Well, we'll see what they're going to do for their attack in terms of which way they're going to come from, but so far it looks like a pretty heavy admin push from there, and that is actually going to force a lot of members of Liquid downstairs through yellow stairs, knowing that they don't have to worry about the yellow stairs control because the admin side attack. They can actually rotate freely to come around from behind, even potentially on those Visa stairs if they get a chance to later on in the round, as they have now moved downstairs. But Joystick going to bring his drone down to see if that rotation is coming out from the team, and so far has not spotted anyone. So this is really slowing them down here, as they're mostly just rotating around to get into positions.
Well, Shockwave will start things off onto Nest. That's one of the Nitro cells from below dispatched up. Here comes a run out from Paula. Out the piano windows. There's no one on the B windows. He might make it to yellow stairs door and in time. There's no Claymore either. He's got to make sure there's no one in the basement, and he's free and clear. Paula with the escape magic all the way back. Go on, will also take down Joystick, so again, a bad start, even on his favorite operator trying to push out a copy Hall. Will be unsuccessful for the Russian superstar.
Man, Paula down to about 50% HP, but man, he is just being such a pain for them. Gotta imagine if there's any cameras outside, they're still probably outside, and that might have assisted him as well in that jump out. Not much you can do on a rappel though. If you hear the rappel sound, perfect trigger to do so, and this is where they just can try and punish and punish and punish with the one-man advantage they have, especially if Sexy K can stay alive a bit longer or stay upright longer to be able to keep these smokes pressured on there, because if they start to try and plant into projector, it's not going to work so great, and that is generally what you're going to be pushing for when you take an admin take.
Like Empire unaware of this spiral stair control, but good repel there from Paula as he'll drop Karzeka down to 1 HP. Toxic Babe coming up from Sexy Cake towards the A balcony. Windows and flashbangs come soaring in to the one breach hole at the top of the window, but looking away and completely avoiding the flashes. Sexy Cake. He evades all three and still playing Pat in behind his deployable shield. Shepard is vaulted in behind the table. The bullets come out, but finally Shepard will connect Karzeka with another one on a Gohan. Suddenly down to a 3v2, but Karzeka on 1 HP. Now it's Scyther left alone inside a connector, will take down the Echo of Zig, but he runs out of time, and Liquid again start things off hot on map number 2, up 1-0.
Definitely not a great start. I mean, a good early pick onto Nest, but once that was immediately traded back, they pretty much lost all the momentum they had at that point, had to struggle to be able to pressure any kind of map control. And like I said, once they were able to rotate around downstairs because they didn't take any kind of yellow stairs control, absolutely punished them. Had they had yellow stairs, for example, then they would have been able to stop that rotate back from Paulo that he tried to make after jumping out the window. So yeah, the admin take not working out super great for them, but we'll see potentially a different take as they're going to be going down to Garage for the next defense. And pretty much same lineup, it looks like, for the most part, other than they're getting double hard breachers now. Coming up for the attack.
And defuse bombs.
So downstairs Liquid will go after being successful upstairs inside of meeting room and CEO, and a little bit of an alteration here. Paula swapping off the bandit role, so Gohan will pick up that mantle, and Paula will swap to the Legion, an operator that hasn't really been seen a whole lot in this series. And I'm surprised by that, considering the amount of Glaz pushing through smoke we've seen. That's usually a big deterrent to the smoke push Glaz.
Yeah, not to mention that the nerf to Legion has not happened yet, so definitely a case where he's still continuing to be effective, so would be a good thing to push to see the fact that they're kind of what you mentioned earlier about Empire not dropping maps. So. Unfortunate for them that this is the place that they are going to finally start to be weakening a little. Of course, the way things are trending right now, this might be 2 instead of 1 maps that they drop.
Yeah, it was an incredibly solid run, honestly, near flawless run through the group stage for Empire, just soaring straight through Group B, which looked extremely stacked, but it's disappointing efforts of Rogue, and then Immortals falling just short as well to Space Station. That's really the surprises in Group B, and Empire obviously strong contestants pushing through, especially after their run in the first half of Season 9. But as the newcomers on the block, technically, they definitely have surprised a lot of people out there.
Well, if you keep in mind, this is the only Latin American team who's managed to win one of the Pro League finals. So they definitely are a strong contender, as well as being the only Latin American team to manage to make it through the group stages. So they've got a lot to fight for here. And while it's Empire's first go at this,
didn't go very well.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely did group stages, just not here. However, again, the momentum is what they need to worry about. They need to make sure that Liquid don't get more momentum again like they did last map, because if so, then it's going to be a big problem, because this is such a strong map for Empire that they should not be giving up any leads. Although I did think they had a good initial man advantage last round, they just weren't able to turn it into a whole lot. Some of that was due to bad droning again. They're just not doing a great job droning and actually following up those drones. We're seeing a lot of the Liquid just kind of doing unpredictable things because there's no drones there to tell them that that's happening. We saw pings come out, giving away the drones' positions to an extent, or at least forcing the defenders off their positions. I don't know, it's definitely a different way to play, and they just seem a bit more unprepared for how Latin America played, maybe thinking that they would play similar to EU, whereas Latin America has had a lot more experience against other regions, and I think that's what we're seeing here factoring into that.
Some shots rattle out against the walls. The first successful thermite charge will go off from Shepard as we approach a minute left. The frag grenade comes rolling in. We'll just brush off Gohan deeper into the bathroom stalls. He holds the angle at a crouch height, waiting for Shockwave to turn the corner, and he rips right through, and another one looking to go for a second round up against this bathroom door. It's Karzeka on the Zofia, and Shockwave from behind, or Scyther, sorry, as that Habana through the wall. Stun Cancer comes out, will disorient Gohan, but with 45 seconds, finally he'll get opened up from the side as Karzeka will split his head wide open and leaving things at a 4v4.
It was good that they got Gohan, but that burned up so much time down. At least they were able to follow it up with another kill from Karzeka now that they have that control. It is a one-man advantage, though, in 28 seconds left to make this plan happen. This is down to whether or not Shepard can continue his streak of plants, and they don't really have any utility to cover the plant.
Wow, ripping right down yellow, and Shepard will win that out. A great turn and flick as he'll now be attempting to put the plant down, bouncing up and down his joystick on the ash, and he'll down one. Paulo with 2 though. He stops the defuse. Paulo with 3! It's all up to joystick now. Nesk is down, so the 1v1. The diffuser is still at white van. It's recovered by joystick, but he has to pull out a Legion mine. Paulo will wait it out the clock, and Liquid again! What a beautiful clutch by Paula.
I think at this point, Empire are going to have to speed things up now. That is 2 rounds they've lost in a row off the clock, not off of fragging, although it doesn't help when you start to lose all of your teammates and you're forced into a situation where a goo mine's slowing you down, and that is where Legion really kind of comes into his own. It's not just the damage, it's not just the intel, it's the ability to slow them down on those plants as well. It's going to be a bit of a problem for him. We've seen some great frags, some great trades though that came out from both teams. I think both teams had a good chance at that. But just the amount of time that we saw burned by Gohan in that bathroom, I think really paid off in those last few seconds. That might have been all the time that Joystick needed to be able to get the plant down, but because they had spent time doing that, just did not work out. We'll see how the 4th bomb site, the new one, comes out. We mentioned we might see it, and we are definitely going to see it now. It's Archives Tellers coming out here from Liquid, and this should be interesting. Definitely going to be dependent on that pulse play.
Liquid continuing the trend of a hot start after Coastline, going up 5-1 in the first half on Coast, now on Consulate. Like you said, 2 rounds coming down to the wire on time, but it's at Empire's own fault here that they are struggling to try and convert for a site execute and try and get a plant down. They're just burning way too much time on the roam clear and standing still a lot of the time. It's a big problem for them, and it's continued over from Coastline. I thought Consulate, new map, you got to break in between, you mental refresh like you talked about, and you bring a new game plan. And it's also not the Empire we've been seeing through groups, and it's not the Empire anyone's really accustomed to seeing. We're used to them taking the fight to anyone they play. I think it's honestly just a more aggressive and chaotic playstyle of the Latin American team of Liquid that is starting to really disorient Team Empire in this matchup.
And that's kind of what my point was about the drones is, in Europe, sure, when you drone people out of position and they move positions, it might be a bit more predictable how that region, how that meta changes positions from there, and you can still execute even without a man following drone, whereas Latin America being extremely unpredictable like they are, flying out of windows, running around ways you don't expect them to, they cannot use that predictability to do the roam clear, so the roam clear absolutely will Gohan preparing this little treat for Joystick once he comes inside the building. No one's going to be droning Visa to stop him either. This is, I don't see them predicting. This is just down to timing. Is he going to pull it off? There we go. That is a great start for Gohan. Again, being a pain this round.
Joystick immediately fell by that Nitro Cell, and Shockwave, instead of following suit and jumping into admin, will get off the rappel as fast as humanly possible and try and hunt down Gohan. But he's long evacuated Visa, knowing that he's killed one of the biggest threats on the side of Empire.
They just cannot predict Liquid, and this is absolutely tumbling the Empire right now. They just cannot seem to figure out what to expect on their takes. The ability to just get into the building already being denied. Yeah, they're giving up admin, quote unquote, but they're giving it up to a C4 kill immediately, and that just denied admin control for Karjeka all the way up till now pretty much. So he's gonna try and take some of that top floor control now that they've actually cleared out Visa. But they have to turn into an execute soon again because time is ticking down. You're almost down to the last minute, and you're now at the man disadvantage and lost your fastest player.
Surprised that they're not popping open the admin hash to have that kind of control, and now they're pinging out for it. So clearly some miscommunication here. Karjeka not understanding the rest of the team. Well, they used Hibana pellets on it when Karjeka was right there, but you don't really need the breaching for anything else on this site, as the main operative of attack here will be going down into Tellers. A frag grenade comes soaring out, toxic gas, but it won't connect on anyone as a drone starts to identify Paula and Sexy Cake stuck inside of Tellers and bouncing around. Sexy Cake just weaving away, trying to dart away from all the bullets coming through these kill holes. Karjeka will take down Sexy Cake finally, and that's Tellers evacuated.
I like that Gohan just completely locking down yellow stairs rotations and almost caught someone off, but the plant failing to come down here from Shepard because they cannot do anything about this yokai drone is absolutely going to cost them on time again. He can't do anything about it. No teammates are trying to take this drone out for him. Pings are coming out. They can't do anything.
Brilliant play by Zig. He's not using the Yokai Blast. He's just pinging, have someone shoot from below. That's Nest. Constant pings coming out, and he might be able to wait this out to the last dying second. All of Empire are rushing downstairs to try and acquire the kill. Nest will play cover. Nest with another one, and he'll stop the plant once with the Yokai, ready to stall it out again. Liquid into the overtime, and there it goes, the impact to the floor. Liquid dominating through this matchup against Empire. Beautiful echo play from Zig and Nest.
At this point, I gotta imagine Empire just feeling baffled by what they're playing against. It is not what they're expecting, and it is absolutely what Liquid looked prepared for. But they're also a region that is prepared to improvise a lot when it comes down to any opportunities they see. They will play very fluid map control, and honestly, defenders playing very fluid on this map in general has been strong for many regions. So I would have expected Empire to be a bit more prepared to deal with that, because just teams have been running around back and forth, up and down the two floors fairly often, as there is 3 sets of stairs that you have to worry about. So they're just seeming to be caught off guard time and time again. Especially even like Joystick just getting caught off guard inside admin because no one was really watching down below in Visa. And this is something they're really gonna have to worry about is, yes, you think you have control of a room, but there's verticality in play, not getting punished by it time and time again.
Well, for those of you at home, you can't currently see it right now, and actually the Liquid side of things is now shut off, but just watching the face cams there through preparation. All of Team Liquid were very animated and communicating and getting up in each other's face as they typically do, very emotional, but it was more on the side of Empire, their dejected silence. No one talking to each other, no one planning anything out, just a look of complete shock and awe on the side of Empire right now. Down 3-0 on Consulate. Liquid, no signs of stopping right now. The biggest problem is they have 4 more chances at this, or Liquid is going to run away with it with a clean 2-0 into the semifinals against Norengo.
It's a lot of the same players continuing to shut them down as well, and their inability to shut down some of those players early is just costing them too much. They need to do something to hunt them down. Again, that drone coordination not coming out here is ultimately costing Empire a lot in terms of time management of it. Yes, they managed to eventually get the kills, often in trades or often in late trades, but just their inability to do anything early on. If you don't get an advantage, you're just gonna get burnt on time because you can't control the 3 sets of staircases accurately, and those 3-speed defenders are just gonna run around on that. Just, you saw the improvisation with the Yokai drone was a perfect example of the way they're playing against him, along with that C4 from the Pulse. They didn't play the way you expected. You don't expect an Echo player to just sit there and ping for someone to shoot from below. You expect him to hit you with a blast. He was hoping to wait out 2 blasts and move on, and an early kill there from Shockwave. Finally, something to come out, but it's on Zig. Thankfully, that's the Echo taking out of play. So they may have a little bit better chance this round, but this is not a round where it's gonna matter as much as Paulette taking right back onto Joystick yet again.
Joystick having a day to forget, but Zig will fall, and you won't be able to use the Yokais at least to stun out the plant, utilize the Yokai animation, but you'll still be able to hold on to the drones for intel wherever they may be positioned. Currently, it's a 4v4 midway through the round. It looks like Empire have tried to pick up the tempo a little bit, immediately getting on the repels, droning out the first 4 in about 10 seconds, and immediately vaulting into admin, and the collapse towards the office, or sorry, the admin side push into A-bomb seems to be accelerating at a much faster pace than we've ever seen from Empire, at least in this map.
Yeah, I like the change up to the cap tower this time. Nice grenade throw there, punishing them for not having Jaeger. And wow, at 2K, this round finally going the way of Empire. The change ups and the operators as well, potentially working out for them. They've got to manage what utility they have left though effectively, and that's not going to help when they start to lose drones to Gohan. It's all down to those last 2, and 56 seconds is enough time if they can continue that, especially from Shockwave.
Well, it'd have to be a miraculous clutch here from Nest, playing the top of yellow stairs, and he'll vault in through the rotate into bathroom. Shepard's putting the plant down. It's an easy lockout for Shockwave. 3, an ace by Shockwave, actually, as I read the stage.
Wow.
Beautiful play from him to start things off for Empire, trying to bring things back into their court. Still down 3-1, but a much better response that time around. And like we said, picking up the pace, and they start converting on a lot of their intel. Yeah,
you see the coach there trying to cheer Joystick up, trying to say, like, it's okay, you died at the beginning of the round. We won that one. It's fine. Like, you know, just bring it back. We won one. We stopped the bleeding a little bit. But I got to imagine if they lose one more round, it might be time to call that timeout and really try and reset yourselves. Take that 30 seconds to just breathe, close your eyes, something like that, because while that was a much better round, that was also a snowball kind of round for them, and an ace from just one of their players. That's not something you can continue to repeat or rely on. So I don't know if it's the losses are over for Empire just yet.
Well, a reattempt here for Liquid as they do have the basement available to them now.
Yeah.
They don't want to go down just yet. They
also have lobby.
They want to give this site another shot, and honestly, as long as you don't let Shockwave run train on you, you should be pretty good. It's just the stall out factor again. I imagine if Gohan gets down inside of Visa, or at least plays the bottom of Visa stairs, and can come up on a flank into Visa, he'll catch Joystick off guard again. He's been flying into admin without a lot of droning in towards Visa, and it caught him off guard once, and I'm surprised that he isn't playing with a little more caution inside of admin, considering the amount of nitro cells that have been coming out from Liquid and the number of times he's been caught off guard.
Well, it's not something you expect to deal with, right? You expect to drone out the room of admin, you swing on in, you take control of it, you use the Ash play to be able to play either side of the hallway, or even to be able to open up down onto the Visa stairs. There's a lot of flexibility you get, and it's one of the few areas of the map you could somewhat take confidently as long as you've shown it first, but Liquid have proven that to not be the case, and with the pulse of play again, as you mentioned, all these C4s, it's something he's going to have to watch out for, although I can't see Liquid trying the exact same thing again twice, but it's something they can prepare for. They can have someone play to that lobby, but instead it looks like Joystick might go to take lobby side instead of worrying about admin. We'll see if this works. He might actually play a little bit from below to try and ash from below the main position where you see people playing behind that tipped over table inside projector. Looks like that's what he's potentially going for to help things out here. That is going to put a little bit of extra pressure on the defense so they could try and pressure from this window, as we saw Shockwave doing a lot of work from this last time. Some good grenades up there as well. And Karzeka actually the one to take control of admin in the meantime. So Joystick changing things up here might be a big benefit for Empire, as they're going to play things a little bit differently. Could keep them alive a little bit longer, and might be more impactful later in the round.
The big thing that has changed here for Liquid is the fact that they're no longer playing anybody inside of meeting room, the A bomb, and that's because of the lack of a Jaeger being banned out by Liquid, so they're going to have to adapt to their own strategy here. But it was an easy frag grenade, a nice little toss into the back of meeting room, and it dispatches Sexy Cake with ease last time around, so there's nowhere really to play inside of meeting room that is safe from a frag grenade unless you're contesting that window exceedingly aggressively.
It's interesting too that they went with Thermite as their only hard breacher rather than Habana, as Habana would be a much more effective hard breacher on this particular bomb site. So maybe they were expecting Garage to be the play. As you mentioned, it was available. So I got to imagine Empire were not necessarily expecting this to be the play. This potential run out coming here from Pala here could be the game changer. He's coming out to look for him. It's all down to time. There he has it.
Pala again with a run out the front door, and there's 3 members of Liquid downstairs, and they'll try to retract back upstairs. Get cut off there by Joystick at top spiral. We'll dispatch one of those nitro cells. Only one remaining now on the side of Nesk, and full retreat now, but Shepard has made it inside of A-bomb, and that's the problem with no one playing inside of A. It's easily captured by the attacking side, but the Toxic Babe will limit his progress on the plant, and he'll have to move his way out, as well as Zig's Yokai drones, but Scythe ripping through Paula. Joystick with another one of the Sexy Cake. It's all down to Zig and Nesk. The tandem again. They might be able to go for the pings. Nitro Cell directly on top of the Echo drone and won't come anywhere near the planting of Shepard, and he'll be able to get this off inside of meeting room. They relocate together to join up at the top of Yellow Stairs. Just an errant blast on the Yokai, and worried about that connector window peek, but Karzeka still wins it out against Nesk. So a 1v4 for Zig to work his way out of with the MP5 SD. Ooh, great pre-fire there, and a great aiming preemptively from Karzeka. Still puts him in a 1v3 as he's running low on time. About half the diffuser time has expired. Ping is coming out on top spiral. Wild sprays will down and finish off side. Oh, another one! Zig down to a 1v1, sitting directly on the diffuser. Inside is Shepard, turns the corner, but no! Oh, the clutch attempt from Zig went from 0 to 100 in a heartbeat. And Shepard able to close it down.
Shepard had such low health too. He'd taken so much damage from those smoke canisters, getting that plant down. Absolutely winnable from Zig because he got the kills earlier against the much higher health players without really any contest on him. Just great pre-fires on his part, but everyone really doing their job that round on Empire. I think absolutely paying off. It was unfortunate Shock did get killed by that run out, but outside of that, they managed to do fantastic on the rest of their execute. And I got to imagine if you're Empire, that's going to feel a little bit better coming back. Maybe Joystick going to feel a little less tilted by him not getting shut down at the beginning of the round, actually having some impactful kills. But I got to say, Zig's use of the yokais absolutely helped him clutch. You saw what he did there is he got off his own yokais and he had his teammates pinging for him, calling out plays from those yokai drones. And that is really working out for them time and time again, because that's how he was able to get that, win the fight on the top of the spiral stairs, is because of the ping coming out from that. So it's definitely something working out favor. Again, if they could get around where they shut down Zig early and get a kill on him, that could really help out, because he couldn't reposition the yokais in, but they still would be able to use them for pings. They are going to go and retry top 4 again here. The situation, though, like you said, they can't play inside of it, and that's going to be a big problem. But Empire, again, going with Thermite and the Thatcher makes me think they thought, okay, well, now they'll go Garage. Didn't seem to stop them last round, though, in terms of winning that out.
Last round of the first half here, and Liquid 3 consecutive attempts here. They're 0 for 2 right now, at least on this run. And yeah, questionable decision to go for 3 straight, but hey, maybe they're trying to play it off and fool Empire, although the thing about Empire is they do not change what operators they take.
Yeah.
They take the same operators no matter where you go. They play Universal 5, and maybe they'll change one thing up if they really feel like it.
In this case, mostly just for Garage, it seems.
Yeah. So there's not a lot of, like, you could probably fool Empire and thinking, yeah, they're probably going downstairs, but at the end of the day, it doesn't change a whole lot about their composition.
All that might change is some of their initial drone positions and some of the way that they look in terms of spawns. Yeah, they're going to adapt quickly to that, one would hope. Liquid, I doubt, are going to be tilted yet because they still have the point advantage and the map advantage, but I could easily see the first half ending 3-3 the way Empire have kind of been coming back here, and not just weak, you know, just not close comeback like we saw on Coastline, but actually really good rounds, even an ace for Shockwave. They are, again, taking control of meeting admin office. Again, with Karzeka doing it rather than Joystick. Oh, it looks like he might have actually come in through there and just gone over to the printer side. But he's looking for some early picks, and this is dangerous.
One of the big changes that Empire have made that have made them so successful in these back-to-back rounds is the fact that they're actually holding flanks downstairs. They're spotting out that Liquid are playing a lot of members of the team downstairs, either in the first floor or in the basement, and playing for rotates backup stairwells. That's what caught Empire off guard earlier on, but now they've double-stacked a flank hold downstairs, most typically Karzeka and Scyther, as Shockwave will hold upstairs, or sorry, Joystick will hold upstairs. It's a big alteration that Liquid are trying to deal with, but they continuously run into those flank holds at the most crucial moments.
Well, that's exactly what Liquid did to Empire on Coastline, so hey, why not? It seems only fair to turn the tables on them. Shepard's been great at getting these plants down, regardless of what operator's playing, regardless of if he has smokes. As long as someone can clear projector for him, it looks like right now, that's actually been a big stall for them. Because yeah, like you said, they've got those holds in place. Gohan has even taken a bit of damage, but they're starting to run out of time, 54 seconds, and they have yet to clear projector significantly enough to get a plant down in there, but at least with the flank holds, they could go for this plant, they could go for this execute, and there's no pulse in play. So it's going to be down to potentially pings coming out from the yokai for Nesk to go for the C4s, or even Gohan to go for a C4 play.
Well, it looks like Liquid are playing the absolute patience game here to try and fake out Empire, make them think that everyone is stacking topside, but here comes the collapse and a vault in immediately by Shepard, and oh, double flashbangs from his own team will blind him, and Scyther will be able to get a kill onto Nesk. Paula with a quick double kill though onto Scyther and Karzeka. Shepard taking damage inside of A as well as Joystick pushes his way through top spiral. Double stacking for Liquid, but they have the man advantage. Here comes a flank though from Shockwave, and they'll line up with each other. Gohan and Zig both dispatched up. Sexy Cake with an immediate trade, and the Echo drone was stalling out the plan. Sexy Cake with another one with the shotgun. And oh, Impala will close it out from Spiral.
Such a great job delaying that between the smoke and the yokai. They absolutely denied Shepard's ability to get the plant out. Had he been able to get the plant out, I think he might have been in a much better position to be able to support his teammates. But just, I don't know, they're just doing a great job denying and delaying inside a projector. Team Liquid, though, taking a timeout, realizing how close that was to them potentially losing it with that flank from Joystick. Now that Joystick is playing much different approaches, but it's a little late for that, of course, as now they've switched sides. But they want to come in to their attack side a little more prepared based off what they learned from the defenses as well, and also to just cool down some of those rounds that they lost.
There's a revolving carousel of flanks there because there was a defender for Liquid coming up yellow, and then Shockwave was chasing him up yellow, so it pushed two defenders, Zig and Nesk, together into the bathroom, at which point Joystick pinched in on them, and it all became just a mess inside of that bathroom hallway and outside by the small desk. But Liquid, with that waiting game, they don't rotate up at a minute left, they rotate up with about 25 seconds left, and it works out beautifully in the end. A lot of chaos in the middle, but they come away with the 4-2 lead heading into the half, and they'll take a tack timeout to regroup as they are 3 rounds away from the semifinals and a date with Norengo tomorrow.
Well, looking at the amount of kills there on the side of the screen, 10 for Paula. I think the strategy now is just continue to position for Paula, give him good intel, let him do his thing, and he'll do it. It seems to be very effective. Sexy, they're going to be bringing out potentially the Glazel, though. They had done it in 6 picks before. In this case, it looks like they're just going to straight out bring it and bring the threat. I think they know it's likely to be Garage in this case, although he is very useful on some of the other bomb sites. But they're going to be bringing that Thermite, so I do think they know they're going to be going for that. But they're not bringing in Thatcher, which means they're going to have to play for piano control potentially, or if they want to waste the smoke, they could go to play from the yellow stairs to try and pop batteries from there. A little riskier, but they're again playing with the 4 smoke strategy, something that worked out very well for them in Coastline. And it's going to be down to whether or not the C4s plus the smokes coming out here could be enough to stop them, but Shepard's going to have to do his thing very effectively and time those smokes so that the C4s don't have to be relied on, because those are definitely something you could easily miss with, and obviously they don't continue to do damage over time the way smoke will in terms of buying time for your team. We'll see if Ness can continue to his reign of terror as Ash, though. Something that was mildly effective on Coastline, but I would say a bit more effective than it was for Joystick.
Absolutely. Joystick having a bit of a resurgence there near the end. It just wasn't enough to tip Empire over the precipice and start continuing that run that they were on. 2 back-to-back rounds, but fall apart in the end. So, like I said, they have 3 chances left. You lose 3 rounds in this game. Unless we go overtime, it is all over for your run, and you're back in the bleachers with everybody else. We come down to our final 4 at the end of today.
It's the unfortunate thing for Joystick and his team here, though. He still doesn't have a lot of flexibility on his defenders. Jaeger gets banned, and he just consistently plays Vigil. And this is something that, yes, it was okay for staying alive. He did a good job of staying alive on Coastline, but wasn't very effective towards the end. However, this is a map where he should be able to rotate a lot more freely, get back to sight, catches the drop. But this is an early potential. Oh, there we go. As I'm saying that, lost a lot of health, though. Still has time for potential reset, but I gotta imagine he's pretty far from most of his teammates. However, they have both garage doors open. Not top floor control, though. It's Scyther following that up onto Paula, who's been the big swinger here. This is a good start for Empire.
A lot of smokes coming out. We're just going for a side execute right now, but Ziggy get blasted into the stratosphere by a Nitro cell, and that's will immediately trade out, but disoriented by the Echo drone. Sexy Cake pushing close will rip through Karzeka. Shock has fallen in the background, so it's a 3v2. Joystick on extremely low HP, and hearing the flank through the disorientation is Nesk. All he has to do is land 1 bullet on Joystick, but he's left Sexy Cake alone in behind White. No one has diffuser control currently for either of the members remaining on Liquid, as 2 defenders of Empire have played deep back. Oh, what a shot by Nesk to dispatch a Shepard in the office hallway, and suddenly the health advantage has twisted on the side of Liquid in a 2v5. And the Echo drones will ping. Oh, what a shot by Sexy Cake. He spots out the Echo drone. Second one will rain out, and there's kill holes above now as Joystick has gone top side. Nesk still bouncing back and forth. They're dealing with the second Yokai, and one rotates hallway, and they go back and forth. A 1v2 now for Nesk to work his way out of. A lot of bullets missing there for Nesk. He whips out the M45 in complete terror as more pings will come out onto Joystick, who's gone for the full rotate down, but he's 5 HP on both the remaining attackers. He'll down 1, turning his direction back towards the garage hole. He's not noticing the pings. He'll clean his kill on Scyther. It's down to a 1v1, and they're both 5 HP. First bullet to land will win it. Flashbangs go soaring to the back of the garage, and they won't blind Joystick, and Joystick with the pre-fire lands the headshot through the wall. It wasn't even necessary. You sneeze on either of them and you walk away with the win, but Joystick bringing it back there with 2 kills in the round.
Absolutely. His ability to rotate really making a key difference from him. Also, I think his ability to come back on some of those later rounds, I think that confidence really matters. When you are a roamer, especially the way he plays Jaeger, for example, it's all about that confidence. Your ability to confidently rotate around the map, because we see him get away with things you wouldn't expect to because he's confident. But some very aggressive play there from Liquid. They pushed themselves deep into the garage very early. That did deny some of their ability to retake the site, especially with the Glaz holding the angle onto yellow stairs. But Nesk's ability to come in and do so much damage without getting pushed back really cost him. Even the pings there coming out on Joystick could have cost him his life, as well as the flashes from Nesk. Just came down to timing, like you said. Either of them breathing on each other at that point, and Joystick just happened to breathe first.
Commendable attempt there, though, from Nesk and Sexy K, because 2v5s, not the most commonplace scenarios to drop down to a 1v1, and almost successful on both sides, but it's how it goes when you've got incredibly clutch players and incredibly proficient fraggers on the side of Liquid. They still hold a 1-round lead on map number 2 and a 1-map advantage in the series. Now they'll be attacking top side as Empire will rotate to meeting room and CEO, and we'll see if they can learn from the trials and tribulations they had attacking this objective, as they were successful in the end. But it was also the mistakes that were learned by Liquid about no one being able to play inside of A-bomb, no one really being able to play safe down close to the bathroom door. They had to be further back to avoid any frag grenades soaring past. And the only big difference between the lineups is that Liquid are not bringing any frag grenades with no Jaeger.
Yeah. But look what they are bringing: 3 smokes and an operator with the ability to potentially track Joystick. I think they're bringing a great lineup. That's, like you said, yeah, the frags, that is a bit of a bummer because they're not necessarily going to be able to do as much damage against the projector, but they can smoke the entire room and still have smoke grenades left to work with. But that might just depend on some of those initial picks. If they lose some of those players with smoke canisters early on, then yeah, they won't be able to do a ton with them, because you are going to have the Jackal inside here from Paulo, but Paulo's put on a bit of a roll. So if anyone's going to survive long enough to do this, despite that early engagement, I think it could be Paulo. It might just be down to whether or not Zig's going to live long enough to get his smokes out. Either way, though, this is going to be Empire needing to play as much intel as they can, and they have 1 bulletproof camera that Joystick brought and hopefully set up in a good position to see through all those smokes. If so, and they do nothing about it, then those smokes really, I guess, won't matter too much. Joystick setting up for a potential run out, similar to what we saw before, checking his cams, getting ready for this, and it can't be droned at the moment, but no one on that side of the building, unfortunately for him. So
no info for Joystick to collect, and I find it interesting that Liquid are stacking for an admin side push over with 0 hard breach, not bringing a Hibana, which would be the best choice in this scenario, especially considering they have the mute. They gotta have someone go down to circle desk, clear out Joystick first, and then get rid of the mute jammers quite easily from below. Don't have to worry about a bandit trick, and also no frag grenades means anyone playing on A balcony is going to have to constantly contend with Shepard playing in the backhand corner, the strong side corner for all smoke players. Actually, that's Shockwave, just playing the same loadout with a Nitro Cell instead of the Toxic Babes. Still a powerful position that Liquid will have a tough time clearing, with no ability to breach his backside and no ability to launch in explosives to deter him from playing his position.
Just keep in mind, they might not know there's no frag grenades on there unless they've identified all the attacking operators, which they may have done at this point. But the fact that there's 6 picks available does leave it up in the air. They might think, oh, they're going to switch off one of those smoke operators to a frag operator, but there goes at least 2 of the smokes early on because they've got plenty left to work with. That was 1 from Glaz, 1 from the Jackal, but a nice early kill there by Gohan. That's Shockwave down, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on there, as that is a C4 off the board. He did lose a lot of health in the process, but could potentially get reset if they still have some time, but no, they do not. 23 seconds.
Scyther just launching fire through the preemptive smokes coming out, and a flank up spiral as well, and choking on the gas is Nesk. Immediate trades leave us in a 3v3. Oh, what a shot by Scyther will drop Gohan, putting the advantage back on the side of Empire. Sexy K taking damage too, and Sig almost shoots his teammate directly in the head. Able to down off Karzeka, rushing straight through, and they almost shoot each other again, finding each other a connector. Scyther playing the bathroom doorway. The plant coming out from Zig into the overtime. The pings are coming out. Joystick will lock it down with ease. And we're level once again at a 4-4 on Consulate.
This has been such a great map for Shockwave and Scyther, and now that Joystick's able to do what he wants to do, this seems to be working out much better for the guys at Empire here. Despite that ban against Jaeger, this is actually working out a bit for them because they potentially used the ban on Jaeger to their advantage. You talk about the early rounds where they were using those nades to clear out Projector, the fact that Liquid couldn't sit comfortably in Projector, but Liquid did do a good job playing verticality a bit better, I suppose, than we're seeing from the Empire guys, but Empire winning a lot of gunfights as Liquid are pushing in. Even the smoke kill there onto Nesk, who I think thought he might have been out of the range of the smoke, continued to choke on it. This is definitely working out for those guys, but the delays from the Echo drones as well, definitely working out. I think both teams using Echo to his full advantage, and now We're going to get a little bit of an extra from the 6th pick there. We'll see how effective Shockwave is on that operator. But Empire, certainly not on us yet. They've actually brought it back to a tie. This is their map. This is the one we expect them to be going strong on. Despite a rough start, they might be getting the momentum. If they can continue to suppress the momentum of Liquid, they might get Liquid into an emotional position where they're having trouble come back. Even if it manages to somehow squeak into it overtime, it's definitely possible we could make it to 3 maps here if Empire should keep this up.
It was a 3-0 lead for Liquid, looking like they were soaring away with this and heading their way to a swift and decisive 2-0, knocking the European powerhouse, the Russian powerhouse of Team Empire off the map. But good resiliency here from Team Empire. They've drawn things level at 4-4. It's a tough position to be in, though, because now they head to lobby after 2 consecutive successful defenses, and this might be where things get a little tough, considering Liquid are also mirroring most of what they brought last time around, just swapping out Gohan onto a nade operator, which is Sledge. They got the glass, they got 6 smokes.
Yeah.
It's a tough look here, especially on a lobby push.
Yeah, this is a good site for smoke pushes because you could smoke the majority of the lobby out and then continue to smoke after it. If the Glaz is left alive to peek from a very far distance all the way back at the gate, then he could be such a threat. You literally can't do anything if it's smoked out and anyone goes anywhere near the diffuser if it's planted near the entrance itself. So as long as he lives long enough to be that threat, Sexy Cake could basically break the game for them at that point because there's nothing they could do to fight him except for just get lucky.
Well, it'll be up to Empire to try and repel that. They have the evil eyes on Shockwave to try and slow those down and be able to see through the smoke, give pings and calls to the team, relay all the information about where everyone is pushing through that copious amount of smoke that eventually will come out. And also, the Echo drones are trying to lay plant in tandem with the Toxic Babes. You got a Nitro Cell on Karzeka as well. There's a lot of plant denial on the side of Empire right now. They're just going to have to worry about the surprise attacks, considering Liquid have been ramping up the pace of their attacks in back-to-back rounds.
Well, the great thing is, of course, you can have the Maestro Evil Eyes go for a ping on where the plant is going down. Then because of that, the Echo drone, the Yokai, can hit the right spot the first time and use the smoke to actually cover and rotate and not be identified in its position. But smokes are already starting to come out as they have them to spare. There's 2 again. Let's try and start to get some ground here. We'll see if they can turn that into anything. Because so far, it just seems like they're just using it to rotate. Already down to 1 minute left, and it looks like Gohan nearly finished off by the Maestro Evil Eye itself, but nope, finished by the gun of Shockwave. He needs to not overpeak this because his ability to deny with that huge machine gun, I mean, it pretty much is going to stop them from being able to play on that doorway. Because imagine you smoke the whole doorway, all he's got to do is hold down on that trigger and just move the gun back and forth around head height, and there's nothing to do. You hear more smokes coming out for that plant.
Here we go. We got to see where Sexy Cake is looking. You see the Echo drones heading to the ceiling. The ping is going to be coming out from those Evil Eyes. Shockwave, those going to get ripped up by Sexy Cake as he just tries to burst through, and the plant will be successful. It'll be a 4v4 post plant for Empire to work out of to take the lead on console. Liquid once again in control. He's got 3 people on Liquid stacked outside. Shepard, though, with a great shot with the SMG-11 will take care of Nest. Man advantage now for Empire as they all slowly work their way towards that front door. And they're trying to avoid Sexy Cake with all that smoke cover down. He's all the way in the back, like you said. A run out up top from Shepard. Not a lot to be done there as he'll be detected and back off. Counter defusing now is Scyther on the bomb. No one in position to stop this. There goes Sexy Cake going down. Scyther still defusing. 2 for Paula, but it's not enough. Empire with the rebound on the 4v4 retake and defuse. And they take the lead now on console after dropping the first 3 consecutively.
That was very impressive on what should have been an almost unwinnable situation, but because they burned so many of their smokes, they didn't have any left to be able to protect Sexy Cake from playing that long angle by the gates. He was caught on the rotate as well. He did manage to at least take down Shockwave, which helped him get that plant down. It was also surprising that the Yokai was not able to deny the actual plant from going down, despite the fact that we saw him have it, looking just in time, might have just lost his right as he was about to fire again, and maybe just waited too long, but the runouts surprisingly working out, not to mention there's just the ability to long arm that from the position. They planted it too far over to the side rather than dead center, ultimately costing them in the end in terms of ability to cover from a long arm. And going down to garage, they're going to sneak the 6th pick in again. But so far, they have been on such a tear on this defense. I almost wonder if we could just see them come back through every single defensive round here and manage to sweep away with it, because they're at such a lead here, not necessarily in terms of points, but the fact that they've had such a flawless defense.
Biggest problem right now for Liquid is they're skipping a lot of steps. You saw those smokes come out to try and push out meeting room, and it forced Shockwave, who was on the Maestro, to drop out of meeting room and downstairs, and Gohan should have been the one to cut him off, except it was Shockwave winning out the gunfight against Gohan while falling through a hatch back down to main lobby. Just an unfortunate scenario there for Gohan, as he should have been one of the most influential flank holds in that entire round and probably could have swayed the entire outcome of that retake scenario if the Evil Eyes aren't in play to be able to zap anyone and lower their health inside the smoke, or just the Alda isn't available to acquire one of the kills that he got.
Yeah, I think, like you said, they are trying to use smokes as a bit of a shortcut. Yeah. And it's something that, yes, it worked on Coastline very well, but I feel like Empire kind of started to figure that out now, and it's something they're learning to deal with. They're bringing the Maestro to help counter that as well, as the bulletproof cameras coming out from Joystick on this Vigil. I think it seems to be enough along with those Yokais, and just the way that this map plays out very differently. There's going to be a spot coming out onto Karjeka, but he's going to be in a position where it's not going to do a ton against him. Unfortunately, his camera, though, is going to be spotted. Sitting on it there, that is going to be for a call out. Thankfully, he was hitting the ping out, so it was going to be kind of run outs. As Garage starts to get open here, they're working towards this plant. Hopefully they're not going to jump the gun on this again because it bit them in the butt the previous time.
Well, thankfully for Liquid, there is no utility currently from Empire, or at any point from Empire, that will stop the breaching of the garage panels, and that's a second Valkyrie spotted out by Paula. The man is just hunting them.
Yeah. Fair enough. You definitely want them to depend on the Maestro Evil Eyes as well as the Yokai drones and the bulletproof cameras. But that's a lot of intel combined. You throw in the Valkyrie as well, and that is so many cameras, way more than the actual attackers can. Oh, there we go. See, there's one of them down underneath the van.
Frag grenade coming out, and it looks like, yes, it will be underneath the van, try and clear out any of those Evil Eyes that are typically placed at the back right corner of white van to look underneath and be able to zap anyone trying to get a plant off at the front of the van in the berth of the breach hole. You got a three-man stack right now, still outside of garage, and Liquid re-droning the objective. They don't really have a lot of top control here to hold down flanks. No one actually inside the building right now for Liquid as the drones continue to come out in mass. And it looks like Gohan has identified this one flaw here in Liquid's push, is that you don't have any control for people jumping out of windows above you, rotating to your side, jumping out yellow window, going visa, and establishing kill holes in the floor. And there's currently one member of Empire upstairs right now waiting.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need those outside cams if you know where everyone's stacking up. Joystick with a nice early kill, and now he's free to rotate around to use the verticality to his favor, or even, as you mentioned, to fly out those windows come late round, or even a post-plant situation. Smoke's coming out now. They've got to start to make this work. They are starting to destroy some of that utility, but so little time left.
Nitro Cell will blast away Paulos. There's an Echo drone above him too. They're able to get rid of an Evil Eye, but Shockwave and Karjeka both tack on. Ooh, two quick kills here, and a third now for Nesk as he catches Scyther off guard. It's Joystick now at the top of yellow stairs, takes down Sexy Cake. So once again, it's Nesk against Joystick in a 1v1. This time Nesk has to get the plant down. There's nothing really stopping here, but there will be constant pings from that Echo drone that was remaining, busting down the wooden barricade. He's gonna come down to the wire here. Pings coming out, and Joystick! The dying milliseconds will stop the plant attempt. Even if Nesk got it off, he probably would have been shot in his back as he tried to retreat out the breach hole, but beautiful 1v2 clutch there from Joystick. Great positioning and relocation through Zig hallway, down spiral stairs, and back to the office hall, knowing that Nesk needed a full 7 seconds to plant.
Yeah, you can see the smile on Joystick's face, the coach coming over and congratulating him for the clutch again. Just doing work from above there. His ability to rotate this map, I know I said it before, but you could not rotate Coastline effectively. His ability to rotate here made the difference in at least 2 clutches now. Glass and Smokes is great for getting that plant down, but it is far from everything, and their over-dependence on this. You see the aggression, the animatedness, as you put it earlier, coming out here from Liquid is not a good position for them to be in when they're struggling here. This might even be a tactical timeout being called, looks like, as they're trying to kind of recalculate what they're doing wrong. Like, we cannot rely on just Smokes. We need to do something to shut down players like Joystick from doing work. But it's not just Joystick. We're talking about him a lot because it's his ability to come in at the right moment that's working out. But you see the kills are on the left-hand side. Almost everyone within a 3-kill range, you've got 7 to 10 kills each because everyone is contributing pretty much every round. I gotta imagine the cost for these guys, at least on the defensive round, is gonna be fairly high.
And this is more of what we expected to see from Empire. A full team effort. That's the name of the game for them these days, as it used to be the Joystick and Karzeka show. And the others would play support and give out callouts, but mainly all intel was fed through Joystick and Karzeka to go and hunt and take everyone out. Or they wouldn't really do all that well. And we saw that on Coastline. Karzeka and Joystick really not showing up to the party on time. But here on Consulate, they're able to bring things back. And the whole team is performing. It's a full depth performance. This is the third time we've seen these people. Hi, how are you?
We only have so many cameras, man. We don't have the evil eyes, the black eyes, the bulletproof cameras to set up around here. Definitely looking like these guys are, I mean, I wouldn't say they're angry, but they're definitely getting a little passionate about winning this out and not getting to map 3. But like I said, though, map 3 is one that they're fairly good at, whereas Empire hasn't had, I don't think, I mean, I don't have the stats in front of me, as great of a record on it. So they're definitely going to have to bring it hard on Border if it gets to that, because if it doesn't get to that, then Empire are out either way. So here they're going to go for what could be the final round of this map, because this is a match point here, or at least map point for Empire. And they're again bringing the operators that have been working. So you've got 4 operators bringing cameras of some kind. The bulletproof cameras, the evil lights, the black guys, the yokais. They all kind of rhyme there. And then, of course, Lone Shepherd for the smoke canisters.
Well, it's Team Empire winning 6 of the last 7 rounds. Just on a tear right now on Consulate. They seemingly figured out their flaws from map number 1 on Coastline. And we head in, like you said, to match point. They'll head upstairs. And they've been undefeated on the defensive side right now. And there's no real signs of that slowing down, considering Liquid, like we said, okay.
Some struggles there.
You reset your keybinds during the break.
There we go.
There you go, bud.
Hopefully that will be spotted on the throw. Now it's a bit late. But again, hopefully that doesn't tilt this round as they had that momentum going for them.
I mean, looks like there's a tilt factor on both sides, the way Liquid are talking to each other right now. And
I think maybe Empire are just excited to try and close this out. And we saw a little bit of that from Liquid as well. They were a little bit hyped to try and finish off their last round potentially as well. Nesk does at least spot that there's the Vigil around, but they just can't seem to do anything about him until the end of the round.
Well, another admin take coming out from Liquid, and again, they at least have the frag grenades this time from Gohan to clear out anyone out from the power position in the back right-hand corner of meeting room, relative if you're looking from the A balcony. But no hard breach, no Hibana to be able to blast open the backside of the wall and give yourself a secondary rotate, because they're just pumping smokes down the main hallway, and it's the easiest pre-fire in the world for everyone on Empire when you're going through a very, very tight corridor. All you gotta do is, even through the smoke, aim head level, wiggle back and forth a little bit with the mouse and hold mouse 1, and there's a good chance to connect with the head because of how funneled everyone will be from Liquid trying to push in that smoke.
And that's the thing you have to think about with smoke plays, is how much are you actually covering your position versus just managing to cover a little bit. They see the reinforced wall that was leading on the top of Visa stairs actually working out in their favor there, and an angled play coming out from that. So this is actually stopping their ability to put pressure on to those Visa stairs from the top. They do have some drones coming out that did drone out the player inside Projector, but they haven't decided how they actually want to approach this yet. They're just kind of calling some audibles, figuring out how they can use their beachhead here in admin to work in their favor. They are opening up the top of the wall. Could be to throw a grenade over potentially, or even to set up for Nesk to throw flashbangs over. But we do see the grenades rotating around here over to Gohan to try and clear out the position. He is going to be watching for it, though. Shockwave could stop this mid-throw. The timing is in his favor. Sees the hand and lands the shot. The grenade does enough damage, though, to soften him up for the kill from Sexy Cake.
Oh, Sexy Cake with the suicide mission into the Toxic Smoke, and another Toxic Babe at the rotate, and Zig is choking on it extremely quickly. Bullets rain through the smoke now, and Shepard will shut down Nesk. It's down to a 4v2. Zig and Paula trying to work their way out of this. Oh, they're completely lined up. One after another. Zig and Paula just choice to go for the hip fire. Tries to lock it out. It's Paula alone now in a 1v3. This is looking like it's going to map 3 with 18 seconds left. Trying to rotate up spiral stairs on 20 HP. There's a yokai drone staring directly at Paula. The smoke will choke him off. His only push in. The diffuser lost in the depths of A-bomb inside of meeting room. And ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we're going to border. Paula with no possible entry. The time will run out. Empire bring map 2 back, and they stretch it to 3.
What a comeback from them. This is worrying for Liquid, because they had such a seeming advantage in their play on coastline, seeming like, well, that target ban onto joystick of the Jaeger, but not just as a target ban to joystick, but also enabling a lot of that smoke play. Yes, it worked for one map, but it completely fell apart. We did not see them with a single successful attack with those smokes coming out. So I gotta imagine, if that is their plan for Border, it's gonna get shut down by Empire.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that is 2 maps in the book. We're gonna throw over to the analyst desk.